From a young age, I had to become super hyper aware of my surroundings. I had to learn how to read others very well because I knew that anything that happened around me was going to affect me in some way. I learned to be very observant of micro expressions and behavior, allowing me to see beyond a person's conditioning. In other words, behind the mask that they wear to fit into this society. I guess you can call it a skill. I call it empathy. See, most people in this world, because of the conditioning that they have obtained from their surroundings, are operating from perception. I've been operating from perspective for a very long time. I had to. Operating from perspective allows me to sit in the mind of the person across from me. And if you ask any intelligence agency, they will probably tell you that they train their agents to operate from perspective for this same reason. Now, from my perspective, this allows me to bypass unnecessary experiences or relationships that are not there to nourish me. As soon as I learn the lesson, I don't look back, because I love and feel so deeply that I will go above and beyond for anybody. And that is just the human empathy within me, which I have learned to balance. So when I sense no reciprocation, I know that it is my time to leave. See, if the world were to somehow shift their mindset to operate from perspective, there will be no wars, no arguments, no debates, no hate, no judgment, no grudges, because we would understand that everyone is viewing the world from their unique perspective acquired from their unique life experiences. Therefore, our individual lives would flourish and we would excel as a whole. But then there's that outstanding question. What about the perspective of people who hurt others? Well, you can almost answer that with another question. What conditioned them to view the world in that manner in the first place? Knowing this, there are times in where people operating from perception will come into your life to test you, to see what you're all about, to see what you have. And when you're already in a place of peace, self-preservation becomes a priority. They will invite you into their space, their mind, and they will expect for you to take your shoes off at the door. Don't. See, when you know who you truly are and your good intentions, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. And then you're probably wondering, then why not take your shoes off? Well, based on their reaction, you can now confirm what you already knew. And since they want to play games, I will play. But rule number one in my game, there are no rules. See, most of what I know comes from dissecting past experience, but some of the most valuable lessons that I have acquired comes from observing nature in the present. If we pay attention, it has so much to teach us about ourselves if we are willing to work with it, not against it. Now that it's time for my move, I'll ask the person or persons for a small favor, but nothing that requires material or currency exchange. Instead, something that requires just a small portion of their time. Time, which is the most valuable asset we have during our human experience. Then just wait, as long as you have to. Observe the reaction, the effort. Observation is key. Depending on the results, that will tell you everything you need to know about that person and what they think of you. Their perceived value of you, which is a reflection of the value they hold of themselves. Here's where you need to learn to see what you are being shown. See, nothing exposes character more than the way you treat the people you don't think you need. By the time they realize what they have done, you have already seen everything you needed to see. Then you can proceed. Sometimes you have to play the role of a fool to fool the fool who thinks they're fooling you. That's a quote by Shu Takumi, video game designer. Don't ever confuse a conscious person's kindness or love for anything other than what it is. They see the world as a mirror to master themselves. This lesson that nature has taught me is that in this game of dreams, you have to be able to think like a fox. And what I mean by that is that it is very rare to encounter a fox. But you better know that if you are encountering that fox, it already knows that it is safe for it to be there.